Good afternoon, friends and traders. I am Dan Hodgman, and welcome to the Market Recap. It is Monday, March 8th. I hope you guys all had a good day. Not an easy one. There was chop. There was questions. There was divergences. There was correlating markets not correlating with each other. There was a lot going on here today. And to say the least, it was not an easy one. But there were some good opportunities nonetheless across a lot of these markets. There were chances in there. Some were directional. Some, like I said, were choppy. You saw equity markets other than the Dow. we saw a strong open. We thought maybe we were going to see some big positive numbers here today. NASDAQ struggled to hold up above settlement price. Turned back negative pretty darn quickly. S&Ps, man, we thought that thing had a chance to really go. It looked like it wanted to. And that rotated over. Dow, like I said, stayed the strongest. Russell was showing some strength. And then at the end of the day here, the last hour and a half or so, that one turned over as well. NASDAQ being the weakest, Dow being the strongest. All around, just a fun, exciting day. It looks like Dow is going to call it right around 300 points up today. And the rotation out of tech continues with the NASDAQ down about 2%. I do want to say, first off, everybody, if you weren't a part of the forecast this morning, we did open up a Discord channel. I will share the link here with you guys. Whoops. All right, there's our Discord channel. It is in the chat. That is strictly just beginning. We want to invite you, everyone here on YouTube, to join us, and we're gonna grow from there. So let us know what you think. It's pretty exciting. We had some great action in there today from everyone that joined from the forecast. But we want to make sure you guys are in there joining us as well if you didn't see on the forecast this morning. So make sure you come join us. We got a couple different rooms there. We're going to continue to grow them. It's a place to talk ideas, talk about what the markets are doing. No trade calling. We don't want any of that. You guys know we're not here to trade call. We're here to teach a man to fish as opposed to give a man a fish, as they say. So let's make sure we're all in there. And I look forward to seeing you guys conversing with us. It's pretty active from everyone from myself to Hogue. We've got our owner of the company, the founder, Michael Patak's in there chatting. So make sure you guys come join us. If it's not letting you in, one thing you can try, this is, I'm not a tech guy, but I have learned if you clear your cookies, it helps. Mr. Shine, Discord is basically just a big old chat room where quite a few of us are in there chatting. Looks like we've got a good group so far and excited to have some more. And if it's not letting you, let me know tomorrow and we'll see if we can figure something out. I do want to say hello to everyone. Felix, Brian, Bill, Ashton. Ashton, super excited for you. I say this to everyone when they earn that funded account. Remember, this is where the real work starts. Take your time. Be patient. Don't rush. You got a long time to be in that account. There's no deadlines. There's no pressures. There's no minimums you got to hit each month. So take your time. Look for those high probability setups. Sean, good to see you. Clarence, good to see you. James, Book of Joe, my pleasure for doing this. Tanya, Josh, absolutely, Book of Joe, glad to help you out there. Ednelson, good to see you. Francisco, oh, good, you're in there. Magnum, good to see you. All right, touched on that one, Mr. Shine. Link is invalid. Let me pull another link here. Maybe it's just not working. Let's get a new link. Let me copy a new one here. We're going to drop this. It keeps making new ones. I don't know what the deal is, but try that link. Hopefully that works for everyone. I have a sneeze on the tip of my nose. Excuse me. Excuse me. All right, hopefully that link works for everyone. Mike, good to see you as well. Like I said, it's really fun. Excited to have everyone there. It's been a lot of fun. The link times out. All right, I am still learning this stuff. It says it should be good. I'm going to pull one more. It says we have 7 days good on this link. It worked for you. Okay, good. Here's one more. If it doesn't work for you guys, I found just with couple people that I have invited to just clear the cookies in their computer, and it's worked. So hopefully that works for you guys. Otherwise, it is a public group. You should be able to just search. If you're in Discord already, you should be able to just search Top Step, and that's us. So make sure you guys come join us. All right. What do we have going on in the markets here today? Well, crude oil gapped open last night, and the sell-off really just took hold and took a short day. I mean, we're looking at $4.5 or $3.50 short there. S&P 500 all over the board. I'll tell you what, guys, it's been a month since I had the COVID, and I still have this cough. Anyhow, S&P 500, like I was saying, strong open. Looked like it really wanted to take off. We took out that overnight high, and then we just hit the wall. And that finally spilled over, blew through settlement price, and now we are down 0.4%. NASDAQ opened up. Thought maybe we'd get a chance up above settlement price. Not the case. Settlement was resistant, sending this market lower, making a new low on the session. Gold, a little bit of a pop on the open, but it continued in that downward direction that we got in the whole overnight session. Euro, same thing there. Just a strong sell-off. And lastly, the 10-year note. There's a lot of questions. Yields with treasuries. We have constant conversation from Jerome Powell about this idea of inflation. Well, inflation, as they say, is the bond's worst enemy. They don't want inflation, so that's going to send bonds lower. It's going to affect our treasury yields. Remember, there's so many factors that involve into this. What are they going to do with interest rates? Well, right now they're saying they don't want to touch anything there. But that could, if they decide, they can tweak those interest rates, and that can change the effects of those things. Yields and treasuries, big factors there. Stocks, going to be a big factor if something happens there. So, lots going on there. I do see some other stuff here. Ashton, great idea. Great idea. Glad to hear that. The real one, I'm glad you're excited about the Discord there. Lots of conversation going on in there. And, I see what you're saying, Tanya. Awesome. Thank you. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at these charts here and see what we got going on today. As always, we're going to start with crude oil. And like I said, crude oil, we hit that gap last night. But, man, as soon as that exhausted, the sell-off really just took hold. Like I said, $3.50 move here today. A high last night of 67.98. And I thought, man, if settlement held last night, maybe we'd see it go test back up there. Not the case. That was a little bit of strength. And after we opened up, to me, our best chance was as soon as we got a little bit of strength, we came right to yesterday's value or Friday's value area low. Great opportunity to look to catch this short and continue in the direction that this market's been going. Hard to argue a market that is in a directional move, whether it's long time frame or short time frame. Remember, we're not looking usually much more lower than that 30-minute chart. And that's what we're seeing here. We saw that bit of strength. We could have shorted right at yesterday's value, Friday's value area low, and just continued down with this downward trend. Next, let's go ahead and look at the S&P 500. And like I said, the S&P 500 was a choppy one here today, all over the place. And here's what I was looking at this morning. I have a level of my own at 38.53. Sean and I were going over this one as it happened. We were on the phone, and I said, as this market approaches 53, there's a great opportunity here. We can put our stop on the other side of our low volume right here at 50.51. We can put our stop just below that, so we can look maybe a 5-point stop. And I had a target up at 74. And I said to him, those are an area for a trade. Our stop down at 48, our target up at 74. You don't have to go as high on the target, but I had target up at 74, and we can get in right at that 53 level. And these are things that we're going to be sharing in that Discord as much as possible, trying to share some of these levels that we're strictly looking for opportunity. It's as simple as that. When we talk about a level, it doesn't mean long or short. It's strictly an area to look for some opportunity. So Sean and I broke this one down. Long 53, stop at 48, just below that low volume node, seeing if they wanted to fill the volume there. It did not. Market rallied, and we started to hit that continuous wall right up here at 77. 76, 77 is where this market really found some resistance, and it finally just really turned over. The initial move, I thought, man, maybe we have a chance here to get to settlement price in yesterday's or Friday's point of control. Didn't get there yet. Needed to attract more sellers. So buyers came in, pushed it up a little bit. We brought in more sellers here and ignited the run to the downside. Next, let's go ahead and look over at the NASDAQ, which, like I said, really the opportunity was this market opened up, rallied right to settlement price, right to where we opened up last night, and spilled right over. So here's what I'm going to be kind of continuing to keep an eye on for the next couple days, or as this market continues to trade in this area. I'm going to try and keep an eye right on this range. This is going to be kind of a channel that I'm going to look for opportunities as the market approaches the streams or the extremes. We've got 3 highs and we have 3 lows. Obviously, we're trading at that low right now. But this are some areas that I'm going to really keep an eye on. Maybe we can pick up one of those bigger moves, those bigger directional moves. And notice how we've extended each side of the range during regular trading hours. We broke from here all the way down. Over here on Friday, we bought the bottom. We could have sold that top or just shy of. This morning, we opened up. We got pretty darn close, shorted it right down to the low side. So this is something definitely worthwhile keeping an eye on here in the NASDAQ. All right, next, let's go over here and look at the gold market. Like I said, gold opened up this morning, showed a little bit of life, but could not get through yesterday's, or Friday. I keep saying yesterday, it's Monday. So Friday's value area low, and here was a great opportunity. We picked the direction in the overnight, which ended up closing that gap open that we had. We closed that gap open, so there was not a desire to get up and close that gap. Market opened up, rallies right to Friday's value area low. What do we say when a market gets directional? We're looking, in this case, a trending down market. We're looking for strength to get in on the short, to continue with that direction. If we can find a market retrace to an area that provides opportunity, well, we all know the value areas tend to provide great opportunities. Market rallied right up to it. We could have taken this, to me, was the great short. Shorting here, bringing our stop up a little bit and running it down, continuing in the direction there. Next, let's go ahead and look over at the euro, which, just like crude oil and gold, continues to sell off a little bit. And just like that, just like gold, almost identical, opens up, shows some strength, comes right down to a point of consolidation in the overnight where we found a little bit of support. Market rallies right to it, breaks down from there, and continues in that downward direction. All right, lastly, let's go ahead and look at the 10-year note. Not a lot of range here today. A lot of sitting on our hands when we look at the yield, the treasuries right now. Opened up, we saw a little bit of movement, but truthfully, this was a tough trade day. Not a whole lot of opportunities for trades. To me, if you caught the short up here, we have a target coming right down to our overnight low. Other than that, I'm not really seeing this short nearly as much. This was a tough trade here in the treasuries. Guys, there are markets for us today. JD, the Dancing Bear, good to see you. And the real one, you have a nice day as well. Love that right there. Not everyone profited today, but everyone gets to try again. Keyword is making sure you get to try again. Don't risk it all on one day or even in 1 week. Make sure you're managing that risk. Now, that's the key we have to think about here. We're money managers. Our job is to take what we have and continuously grow it over time. It doesn't have to be done in 1 day or in 1 week or in 1 month. Take your time. Markets will present opportunities, and maybe there's not going to be one every single day that you like. So wait for those opportunities to present themselves, and that's when we're going to find our best opportunities. All right. One thing we want to touch on, we're back in the money on the Bitcoin pretty nicely, $51,960. Remember, we bought that all the way down at, what was it? I had these memorized at one point. 34,515, so we got good money there. Our other one, is that Airbnb stock. We're still in the money on that one. Bought $148.30, trading $180 right now and 81 cents. Touched on the news there. Interest rates. 10-year just shy right now of that 1.6, 1.599. That one's up pretty good today. The 30-year, 2.324, up 0.036. So we're going to continue to keep an eye on these there. Tesla. Whew. I listened to Elon Musk on Joe Rogan this weekend. Really enjoyed that conversation. He's such an interesting guy to hear talk, but this market got all the way up to, where is it? There we go, $620, and right now $536 a share. VIX, we saw the spike this morning on the open up to 27. Right now we're trading 26. Kind of floated the gambit from 24 up to 26 half, pretty much. So we were all over the place on the VIX today. And then lastly, GameStop, big move today, up 41.9%, or $57, up at $194. Bitcoin, that's a fun one to be watching. Edison, see here, do you guys cover silver? No, we tend not to talk about silver. Every so often we'll kind of pipe in some thoughts on that one. To be honest with you, don't really have any thoughts on that right now. Haven't been watching it too closely. All right, economic releases. Tomorrow, quiet day. We do have stimulus stuff. We'll see if that gets passed. There's a lot of questions around that right now. Fed is talking a lot about this idea of inflation. $1.9 trillion getting pushed in here. So there's going to be a lot that's going to be factored in with this. I think I kind of mentioned it in our little Discord group this afternoon. I think a lot of it has been factored in, right? There's going to be cash in people's pockets. They are going to get out and spend that money. And with that, there's also going to be concerns of the costs of this long term. What's it going to do with inflation? Things of that nature. Those are questions that we got to start to think about. So really what I said was, I think there's going to be, once it's all signed, sealed, delivered type thing, there could be a really fun, exciting pop. But I think long term, we got to see how everything else plays out to see if it'll continue in that direction. So I think, and this is just my opinion, no fact behind it. It's strictly opinion and just kind of my experience with these things. I think there's going to be that emotional reaction. We're going to see this market skyrocket for a little bit, but it's going to come back. It will come back, and I think it'll return to kind of unchanged, which is what I talk about a lot. There's always that initial reaction, that emotional reaction, and reaction to that emotion. And for me, I try not to be in a part of the emotion. I want to wait for the reaction to the emotion. Francisco, that's a tough question. Do you think the correction is over and back to bull market? Especially once stimulus is out. There's a lot of questions revolving around that. I think we have bigger things, not just stimulus, but what are the long-term effects of this stimulus? What are the economists going to be saying? What are people going to be thinking? I think right now it's pretty much a toss-up. Absolutely. I don't argue that fact right there, that people are going to be putting this money into the market. But again, for me, it really comes to this idea of inflation. Where's the money going to move? There's a lot of questions out there. So to give you that answer is so tough right now. These are equity markets that we're talking here, I assume, and they tend to want to rally over time. But we're going to continuously see corrections. We saw them last year. We saw them the year before. We continue to see, it's like annually we see this one big sell-off, and then the market rallies up to make new highs on the year. But right now, I really don't want to give too much of an answer on that one. All right, we touched on yields there. And lastly, let's go ahead and take a look at this date in history. I don't think I have a whole lot that's even worthwhile here. I thought I had one. Yes, 1993. Beavis and Butthead premiered on MTV. And then the last one. I liked this one. In 1950, the VW bus went into production. This day and age, it's like the van life is a thing right now. I have a friend who owns a company. called the Van Plan, and he builds vans for people to live in. It's a pretty cool program he's got, and it seems to be a thing. I'm seeing it all over the place, especially with this whole work remotely lifestyle that people are getting. I'm seeing a lot of that happening, and it's pretty darn cool. So the VW bus was kind of the Kickstarter there. All right. Daryl, that question's impossible to answer. How long will we stay sideways till the market tells us otherwise? I'm of that opinion. I'll trade sideways all day long, and if the market tells me something else, then I'll adjust. That's kind of my mentality with it. All right, guys, on that note, again, make sure you go check out that Discord channel. If it doesn't work, let me know tomorrow. Also, don't forget tomorrow, 11:30 a.m. Central Time, we get the Coach's Playbook. It's going to be me, JD, and Hogue in there. I'm really excited about this topic. We're going to be talking about social trading, social platforms, working with people when it comes to trading, and things of that nature. So make sure you guys tune in. I think I got our chat figured out on that one too, so we'll make sure everything works out. Other than that, guys, you guys all have a great day, great afternoon, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the markets. Remember, John will be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Central Time. Until then, stay safe, wash your hands, trade smart, and trade well. Look